Hi, my name is Daniel. I have 20 years experience in network and software testing space, working as SDET. I worked as a senior staff engineer with Equinix for the last 6 years. Prior to that, I worked with Facebook, Cisco, Comcast, EMC, and Oracle. Equinix is a co-location service provider having 260 plus data centers all around the world, and they rent for space and power. I worked on a product to provision software routers to be run on Equinix data centers. There are thousands of virtualized routers already provisioned using this product. My responsibilities include design and implementation of test framework, end-to-end test planning and review, collaboration with cross-functional teams for execution, tracking, bugs triaging, and customer support. I've developed automated test scripts in Python, analyzed and troubleshooted the bugs and solved customer issues. I was involved in various phases of testing process such as internal QA testing, UAT testing to validate end user experience, go live, sanity testing in stage or production environment, and patch testing, which addresses emergency fixes. My responsibility also includes DevOps and production ops to manage the build, deployment, configuration, and infrastructure in the lab, UAT, and the production environments. I used Jenkins, Ansible Playbook, Python scripts to implement CI/CD workflows called pipelines to manage code deployment. Hi, I worked on a product in Equinix called Network Edge to provision software routers called NFVs to be run on Equinix 35 plus data centers. There are about 1000 Network Edge routers already provisioned using this product. This product was built on top of Cisco platform, UCS M5 rack server pods, OpenStack for virtualization, Arista for Internet Network Gateway, Cisco NSO and Cisco ESC softwares for network orchestration for OpenStack instances. Customers' network edge router running in Equinix data centers can connect to public cloud edge routers using service provider networks such as MPLS and backbone networks. Customer edge router first gets connected to Equinix fabric routers before getting connected to service provider or public clouds. Typically, customer raise requests from a marketplace portal to purchase the NFV of their choice from about 30 different router types by entering their details such as type, number of interfaces, flavor, and the service provider details. The request then is processed by middleware components and finally processed as a REST API request in Cisco NSO and 35 OpenStack instances. Customer has to then partner with service providers to provision BGP, Layer 2 VPN, SSH, ACL services on their edge router to connect to the internet and to the public cloud of their choice. Hi, I'm going to talk about my automation experience here. When I was working in Equinix, my test automation framework in Python is to automate REST API get, post, put, delete methods execution to create delete routers, apply, verify, license, create firewall rules in Arista, to push service configurations in routers, to monitor logs in Linux, monitor Kafka request and response topics. I came up with about 50 Python scripts, that uses Kafka cat Linux utility, curl commands, JSON payload, request Python module, Python modules related to sending emails, to collect telemetry from devices, HTML file generation for test reports, etc. When I was working in Facebook, um, my automation involves creating inbuilt automation framework written in Python to validate their compute storage infrastructure such as SSD, HDD from different vendors. I played a key role in enhancing the automation framework in Python to connect to the devices and to generate network traffic to do large sets of read-write operations on storage devices. I've written Python scripts utilizing automation Python libraries. I was involved in unit testing and code review as well. When I was in Cisco, my automation framework written in Python will first log in to interconnect switch in UCS, where rack blade servers are interconnected. My scripts will then spin up OS instances on rack blade servers, run OS commands to deploy network and storage device drivers, configure the interfaces and IP address, call Python libraries to initiate traffic flow between servers and between storage devices, and generate log files to debug for network or storage issues. When I was in EMC, I've developed an automation framework in Python to deploy Red Hat OS instances, drivers, firmware, Postgres database, and network software on multiple servers of a database appliance. Thank you. Hi, I'm going to talk a little bit about my achievements while doing process improvements. While working with Equinix, I came up with an automated solution to deploy the build parallelly in multiple VMs using Python scripts, Jenkins, and Ansible playbook that reduce the deployment turnaround time significantly. When triaging customer issues reported by cross-functional teams, while troubleshooting the production and UAT issues, I found out that there were some repeated issues. I was involved in analyzing, collaborating with multiple teams to come up with short-term and long-term fixes. Another example is while investigating some of the issues, I found out that the main cause for the failure was due to infrastructure device outage issues while processing REST calls. I helped analyze and brainstorm the issue to come up with a retry mechanism. In another instance, out of sync between different middleware modules were causing many customer order fulfillment issues. I helped to analyze and troubleshoot. As a team, we were able to work out a fix and validate. I was also involved in debugging issues reported by end-to-end cross-functional teams and suggested to have correct error messages when a module throws an error. Thank you.